Hey y'all, welcome back. So excited to have you here today because I am doing something a little bit different from the norm. For those of you who may have followed the channel and our blog back in the day, you might remember that I had a podcast where I actually did interviews and I had a lot of positive feedback about that show format. So I'm deciding to try it out again. We're gonna see how it goes. So today I actually have an interview with someone who ticks all the boxes that make them an ideal guest for this channel. We're talking real estate, we're talking relocating for an extended period of time, we're talking about learning languages, exposing yourself to different cultures, and just jumping out there, taking risks, putting yourself out there. So I'm talking to none other than Martese Jenkins, who is actually from my hometown of Chicago. So that was probably one of the most exciting parts for me, just to be able to talk to somebody from where I come from and just kind of go back and forth about some similar experiences that we both had when we visited and stayed in Puerto Rico. So there is one thing I do have to admit, because I haven't done this in so long, I actually ended up messing up the video feed. So the whole time you're gonna hear my voice, but you're just gonna see his video. So hopefully that's not too distracting from the content of what we're gonna discuss. So I encourage you, please don't be distracted by the presentation. I apologize in advance. Stick around, take a listen. You're gonna be inspired. You are going to have a lot of questions answered about creating a location independent lifestyle. What's it like living, relocating to Puerto Rico? And we're even going to talk about real estate investing. So I am super excited to jump into this conversation because it was just that good. But before we get started, we're going to take a quick moment to hear a message from one of the channel sponsors. If you're not using home exchange, you're missing out. Imagine traveling the world, staying in unique homes, and saving money. With over 200,000 members in 155 countries, Home Exchange is revolutionizing travel. Experience authentic local living, make new friends, and create unforgettable memories. I recently used the Home Exchange platform to score a great condo in St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, just steps away from Sapphire Beach. Then I vacationed like a local by getting a spacious, well-equipped home in a peaceful neighborhood that was perfect for my family's Eastside Island tour in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Offer the low cost of a nominal annual membership and cleaning fees for each stay. The best part is that I can use guest points or swap homes with many others who also happen to be Airbnb hosts, which typically means a clean, professional vacation home. Screenshot the QR code that you see below or click the link in the description to create your free account so you can start earning points for free stays or swapping homes with others all around the world on the Home Exchange platform. Don't just visit a destination, live it. Join Home Exchange today and unlock a world of possibilities. All right, everybody. For my first guest after this long break, taking interviews, I have the delight of presenting to you Martese Jenkins, who is a world traveler, a language learner, and a real estate investor from my neck of the woods, south side of Chicago. Yes. So welcome to the show, Martese. I'm so glad to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate the invite.
I am so excited to talk to you because Chicago has this national reputation of being it's this rough city. Everybody's into drug dealing, gang banging, it's violent, all this stuff. But you come from the south side of Chicago. That's what we usually see on the news, the south or the west side. My grandmother is from the south side of Chicago, but I always went back and forth my whole life. I was raised in the suburbs. And so we kind of have a little bit similar, upbringing and also trajectory, how we came to learn Spanish, started traveling, even a little bit investing in real estate. I know that our focus was going to be more on language and stuff, but I think that's a really interesting part of your story too. So before I get into this interview, we want to take a minute to hear a quick message from our channel sponsors. If you're a digital nomad or like me, spend lots of time traveling, listen up. What I'm about to tell you will change your life. Introducing Genki, the ultimate health insurance for world explorers just like you. Imagine roaming the globe without a care, knowing you're covered for any medical emergency. From scooter mishaps to tropical illnesses, Genki's got your back. With instant sign up and quick claims, you can focus on your adventures, not paperwork. Don't let health worries hold you back. Choose Genki and travel with confidence. To get your free quote, just screenshot the QR code that you see here or check out the link in the description below. Okay. All right, so let's jump into this. Oh, so many like questions, so many things, but we only have so much time. So, Martese, the first thing I want you to tell me about is your story of how you started traveling to Puerto Rico and how you got like interested in Puerto Rican culture, like why Puerto Rico, not Colombia? Like how old were you? What did you do? Kind of give me like that little timeline.
Right. So after I graduated high school, I ended up moving to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where I have friends and family. And even going back to high school, I was always interested in like the Spanish language and culture. I just felt like I went to a school where it was like predominantly like African American Hispanics. So Spanish was like highly spoken, it was like spoken a lot. And I just kind of caught interest to it. And fast forward, once I graduated, high school, I ended up going to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where I got friends and family. And I ended up working because I wanted to kind of get out of Chicago, try something different, see a different scenery or whatever. And I ended up working at this factory, and there I met a Puerto Rican friend, which I'm still cool to this day. And I was telling him how much I want to, go to his country, territory, essentially, of the U.S. and stuff like that. And I chose Puerto Rico subconsciously. I probably would have went whatever. I probably would have met somebody who would have invited me, but Puerto Rico was just a little bit more easier. There was no passport needed, and U.S. dollar, U.S. currency, everything was just aligned in that sense. So that's what made me choose Puerto Rico, and I ended up meeting a Puerto Rican friend who I eventually went to Puerto Rico with him and his
Okay, so let
family.
me
That's kind of
let me just pause real quick because I there's some little tidbits in the story. So first of all, this sounds very much like something a Puerto Rican would do. They're literally so hospitable that they will be like, "Hey, I'm not gonna tell my mom or dad, my family anything. Let's just show up and we'll be in Puerto Rico. You can stay with me for however long you want." Like that is very normal for Puerto Ricans. They're just very nice and very hospitable. Is that essentially what happened? Like you showed up at his house and then like how long did you stay?
Yeah, that's essentially what happened. He think I was like good people, good energy and stuff like that, and I stayed with him maybe a couple of months, maybe 4 to 6 months, give or
And his
take. It was like a
parents were
long
just like,
stay.
okay, they had no problem with this.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
I
Mm,
love that.
yep. Yep.
So you were there for 4 to 6 months. What was that time like for you? Were you starting to learn the languages, or was it more vacation mode, or like where was your mind at? How did that first 4 to 6 months in Puerto Rico go for you?
Well, in the beginning, I didn't like it because it was extremely a big cultural shock. I was just like, wow, like people look just like me speaking Spanish, people, Asian people speaking Spanish. It was just like I couldn't like fathom believe that this whole world existed with other people speaking this language so fluently. Because I was just used to like Mexicans or the Puerto Ricans that I was introduced that was Puerto Rican. I didn't know Puerto Ricans was such a broad
Like
mix
their
of races.
diversity. Yeah.
Exactly. So the full 6 months was tough. I started learning the language day one because I wasn't in vacation mode because I was kind of like in the hood and the trenches of Puerto Rico. So I saw the other side of Puerto Rico from day one. So it was
You had to build
strictly like
that
Spanish.
street cred like right away because you didn't want
Yeah.
to get got out here in these streets, people charging you extra money, looking at you like you're the foreigner. So okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. The guy like I said, he was from the hood, and so he introduced me to everybody, so everybody was cool with me and stuff like that. But it was tough, and I was simultaneously, subconsciously just learning language. I actually took language courses too, because I really wanted to learn it. I just didn't go there to vacation. I went there to intentionally learn the language, so I was very intentional.
Okay, I like that. And so just the other thing I want to point out for those of you who are watching, if you're thinking of like, I want to explore another Spanish speaking culture, but I don't want to deal with like converting currency. I don't want to deal with like getting a passport. I think Puerto Rico is a great soft landing place, and it's one of the reasons that I chose it because I had to bring my kids here and I didn't just want to throw them into a school where they just would have to speak Spanish right away, even though that's really good for people. But sometimes that big, huge cultural shock that could be so overwhelming where people, they just, that makes them want to leave and they hate it. So I feel like my kids have really eased into the transition. And even though there's a lot of English speaking, we use US dollars, they're actually learning Spanish and they're transitioning quite well. So I think for us, a next phase might be a country maybe like Colombia or Dominican Republic or something like that. So I just wanted to point that out that for those of you who are thinking like, yeah, I want to do something in the Spanish speaking world, Puerto Rico, as Martese is showing us, it's a great place to kind of dig your heels in to start. Okay, so the next thing I want to ask you is because we're both from Chicago, we know that the main Spanish there is Chicano Spanish, right? From the Mexican population. And that is a very different Spanish. So I'm going to put you on the spot again because I need y'all to know that Martese is the real deal. He's not out here playing, talking about, I went to Puerto Rico for a few months and I learned a little bit of Spanish. No, I would venture to say that Martise's Spanish is probably better than mine. Like I feel confident saying that, pero vamos a ver. Entonces, en este momento, vamos a cambiar un poco para hablar un poquitito de español y lo que vamos a hablar es sobre la diferencia entre el español puertorriqueño y el español mexicano. Entonces, te pregunto, cuando tú llegaste aquí, te notaste la diferencia, como que es que, porque cuando yo llegué me quedé como que eso no fue el español que yo aprendí en la escuela, es bien diferente. Entonces, dime tú, ¿cómo te sentiste sobre el español que estabas oyendo cuando llegaste aquí?
Sí, en el principio fue, no me daba cuenta que era una diferencia, porque mi
¿Verdad que
nivel
sí?
sí, no notaba nada porque no tenía ningún nivel de español como tal.
Ah,
Yo
por eso, ok.
pensaba que yo sabía español desde aquí, desde la escuela que aprendí aquí, pero cuando yo llegaba a Puerto Rico, no entendía que era una diferencia. Después de quizás unos 6, 8 meses, ya escuchaba más de la manera que hablan los puertorriqueños o dominicanos.
Okay.
Más o menos podía diferenciar los acentos de las diferentes culturas hispanas, pero inicialmente no podía diferenciarlo.
¿Verdad que sí? Mira, yo noto que tú puedes conjugar muy bien los verbos. Para mí todavía es una lucha, pero que te felicito. Entonces,
Gracias, gracias.
tú puedes distinguir la diferencia entre el español dominicano y el español puertorriqueño.
Sí, exacto,
Wow.
porque en la comunidad donde yo estaba había una comunidad de gente dominicana, o sea, y obviamente hay puertorriqueños, pero la mayoría de las personas, la población era dominicana. Entonces, me acostumbré de escuchar acento dominicano, acento puertorriqueño. Obviamente yo vengo de Chicago, la mayoría de los hispanos son mexicanos. Entonces, más o menos poco a poco yo fui aprendiendo los acentos.
Wow, mira, yo creo que yo no puedo notar la diferencia entre lo cubano, dominicano ni puertorriqueño. Para mí, todos son el acento caribeño, para mí.
Sí, sí,
Entonces, tú has avanzado a nivel que yo no he logrado. Entonces, qué bueno para ti.
sí.
Entonces, para ti, porque yo diría que sí, yo aprendía más el acento mexicano. Entonces, cuando yo llegué, casi no entendí nada, porque por ejemplo, yo oía, ¿cómo está usted? pero yo estaba acostumbrada a ¿cómo estás usted? Mande, cosas así del español mexicano. Entonces, para ti, ¿cuáles son las diferencias más grandes que tú notas entre el español caribeño o puertorriqueño y el español de quizás de Colombia, de los mexicanos, de Argentina? Para ti, ¿cuáles son las diferencias más destacables?
Sí, lo más que es notable para mí es la velocidad en que los puertorriqueños hablan. Ellos hablan muy rápidos. Los mexicanos y colombianos hablan más pausados, más claro. O sea, puede escuchar casi todos los acentos de cada palabra que un mexicano o colombiano diga. Puertorriqueños tienen que aprenderlo de manera puertorriqueña porque se cortan las palabras, a veces se habla muy rápido
Se comen
y
las
se
palabras.
come, exacto, mejor dicho, se comen las palabras y también hasta la gente puertorriqueña que vive en el campo hablan diferente de la gente que vive en la ciudad. Hay una diferencia poco ahí también. Pero yo,
Ah,
yo diría la velocidad,
una pregunta, porque entiendo que tú pasabas más tiempo en la zona metropolitana.
sí.
Entonces, yo vivo más por el campo. Entonces, por ejemplo, para mí hay una diferencia. Los puertorriqueños de la zona metropolitana, ellos dicen, por ejemplo, ese ruido, ese revolú, el carro va rápido, con el R así. ¿Ellos lo hacen también o solamente es del campo? ¿Qué tú sabes?
Eh, yo diría algunas personas quizás que se han vivido en el campo, yo diría que normalmente no hablan así, pero
¿Verdad
la gente,
que
sí,
eso
sí,
por
sí,
aquí eso es tan normal que casi no entendí? Cuando alguien me dijo, ¿qué es ese ruido? Yo como que hay algo que tiene la garganta, ¿qué te pasa?
sí, sí, exacto, exacto, sí.
Wow. Y por ejemplo, porque quiero tomar un poco de tiempo a hablar de las diferencias, porque me imagino que hay personas que quizás están mirando el video y quieren saber lo que deben esperar si vienen para Puerto Rico para aprender el español. Y yo les digo, por ejemplo, que muchas veces se quita el S, por ejemplo. ¿Cómo está usted? Se convierte en ¿cómo está usted? Y otro ejemplo, por ejemplo, el R al final de alguna palabra se convierte en L, right? Me gustaría hablar contigo. Debe ser, me gustaría hablar contigo.
Exacto, exacto,
Eso me tiene como
sí,
hablar.
sí.
¿Tú tienes otro ejemplo ejemplo específico para que sepan la gente las diferencias o lo que deben esperar?
Eh, yo les diría a esa gente que vendrían a Puerto Rico es que hay que pasar un tiempo, un rato en el país, en el territorio, ¿verdad? Porque es fácil que yo podría decirles, ah, esté pendiente de esa palabra o esa frase, pero no van a entender hasta que pasan algún tiempo en el área. Yo diría que ver películas y noticias y cosas sobre Puerto Rico. Si quiere aprender español puertorriqueño, tienen que acostumbrar y eh, poner cosas de Puerto Rico. Porque es fácil hacerlo, pero es difícil de saberlo en el momento. Tiene que entrenar tu oreja, tu oído, ese sonido
Exacto,
diferente, mejor
estoy
dicho.
completamente de acuerdo. Entonces, sí, hay varios ejemplos que podemos dar. Pero en general, si tú quieres acostumbrarte acento boricua, el español boricua, mejor que te pongas a estudiarlo en cuanto a los videos, los podcasts, cosas así. Pero para mí, las diferencias más grandes serían entre el vocabulario. Eso para mí es bien diferente. Pero eso pasa con todos los dialectos, ¿verdad?
Sí,
Que en todos los dialectos tienen vocabulario, jerga diferente. Y también con la pronunciación. Para mí, eso fue lo más difícil para mí, acostumbrarme a la pronunciación, porque algunas letras se cambian y todo eso pasa con la evolución de de las lenguas. Entonces, ¿qué más te iba? Última pregunta y luego vamos a cambiar a inglés.
está
Última
bien.
pregunta en español. Pero tú hablas muy, muy bien. eh,
Mucho tiempo,
Muy
bajando,
impresionante.
bajando en las calles de Puerto Rico, de
Eh,
Santurce, de toda el área metropolitana, sí. Fue
wow,
muy
se te
difícil.
nota.
Sí.
Se te nota. Mentira. Te voy a hacer algunas preguntitas más.
Está
Eh,
bien. Adelante,
eh,
adelante, dama.
Entonces, y ahora, ¿cuándo es que tú te sentiste que, mira, ahora yo hablo el español con fluidez? ¿Cuándo fue ese momento? ¿Y después de cuánto tiempo?
Sí. O sea, pensándolo bien, no sabía que hablaba bien, porque lo que pasó fue que cuando regresaba a Chicago, me daba cuenta más todo lo que aprendía mientras que yo estaba en Puerto Rico. Pero mientras que yo estaba en Puerto Rico, no daba cuenta lo más fluido o nivel que yo llegara para hablar. Fue un momento cuando yo estaba en Milwaukee o Chicago, no me acuerdo qué ciudad fue, pero escuchaba a algunos hispanos hablantes hablando entre ellos mismos y estaban hablando, no me acuerdo lo que fue, pero yo hablaba con ellos y ellos estaban mirándome como que, como caramba, ese moreno habla español, ¿verdad? Y yo decía, wow, ok, yo... No, realmente no sé, yo diría en 7, 8 meses más o menos.
Siete,
Pero,
8 meses, eso no es nada.
ah, oh, pero lo que pasó fue que yo estaba entre puertorriqueños y dominicanos todos los días por meses y meses. Yo tomaba clases, yo estaba involucrado en
Sí,
la comunidad, los programas, todo
tú
yo
estabas
estaba involucrado.
comprometido,
Comprometido.
entremetido.
Sí, sí, 100% yo estaba ahí, eso fue la meta, eso fue la meta.
Wow, y qué bueno que lo lograste. Se nota que lograste. Entonces, 7, 8 meses para
Viviendo en
lograr,
Puerto Rico,
sí,
viviendo en
viviendo
Puerto
en
Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Sí,
Y lo más impresionante para mí es que te quedabas ahí pensando que yo tengo que lograr. Entonces, tú sabes que es fácil
de
llegar,
quitar, de rendirme.
sí, exacto, es fácil llegar y ver que hay sitios en donde se habla inglés.
Ah,
Y
sí,
y si me cansa la mente, yo puedo cambiar y hablar en inglés. Eso es bien fácil, especialmente aquí en Puerto Rico, porque
sí,
hay un montón de gente que hablan
solamente
inglés aquí.
inglés. Sí, que lleva
Exacto.
10, 15 años en Puerto Rico, no habla muy bien español.
¿Y cómo es que tú mantienes tu nivel de español en esos días?
Mm. Bueno, Eh, no creo que puedo olvidar español ahora, pero algunas veces, yo tengo amigos aquí venezolanos que hablo con ellos, que coincidentemente ellos, ayudan a mí con mis propiedades de limpiar y esto lo otro, y yo tengo que hablarlos en español,
Ah, qué bueno.
ver videos todavía musicales, escucho, bueno, escucho música, ver las noticias, y mi hija, tengo una hija de 8 años que solamente habla español también.
Qué chulería. Okay, so that was our Spanish segment. So before we
Okay.
move on, we're going to take a quick minute to hear a word from a channel sponsor. Are you ready to take control of your financial future? Build a brand that lets you earn from anywhere with Bluehost. Whether you're a creator, an entrepreneur, or ready to start your online journey, Bluehost makes it easy. With AI powered tools, managed WordPress hosting, free domains, and 24/7 expert support, you can create a website that grows with your vision. It's time to turn your ideas into income, and Bluehost is here to help you every step of the way. Start today for as little as $2.95 a month and watch your business thrive with Bluehost. To get started, you can click the Bluehost link in the video description, scan the QR code you see on the screen, or go to principlesofincrease.com/Bluehost. Okay, so switching gears, we're going to move back into English because the other part of Martise's journey to like traveling, like, well, let me just ask you this. Have you been to other Spanish speaking countries since you've been like back and forth? Because you went back and forth to Puerto Rico for how many years?
For 8 to 10 years, give or take, I was going back and forth a lot. Yeah,
Okay, so that was the way that you maintain your Spanish as well.
yeah, that
And
too.
then since then, do you go to other countries? Like, have you spent extended periods of time in other countries or?
Yeah, so I have visited other countries like vacation wise, stuff like that. I never like stayed. I mean, the longest I stayed was probably 3 weeks in Costa Rica. So I've been to Panama, Costa Rica, Colombia, obviously Puerto Rico. Um, yeah, that's it for Spanish speaking. Costa Rica, Colombia, Panama, and I plan on going to Peru because I want to see the it says it's one of the seven wonders of the world
Is that the
with the
Machu Picchu?
rainbow. Yeah, Machu Picchu. I want to do that.
Okay,
Yeah, I want to do
cool.
that. Yeah, yeah.
And so I guess maybe we can turn the conversation future looking. Like, do you have plans to eventually one day either settle, retire, or consistently travel to Spanish speaking countries? Or like what are you thinking for like your future in the Spanish speaking world?
Oh, that's a good question. I think maybe I like Puerto Rico. I just kind of got tired of the island life, essentially in the sense of like the water outages, the power outages, the government bureaucracy and stuff like that. But if I'm retired, I got my own income and kind of can control that, and just I guess get a generator and solar panels. Who knows? But I am open because lower cost of living. The food here is just it sucks a lot here in America. They put a lot of stuff in it, so I would want to go somewhere where I can possibly even grow my own food or just get away, live out in the countryside. So I am open to it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think Puerto Rico and even maybe like the islands, they make a little more sense if you have a way to earn money outside of the island because there's not a lot of earning opportunities here. And also, if you don't earn a lot of money, it can be hard because you do have to deal with some of like the water outages, power outages, and I'm fortunate enough where I've been able to get the solar panels, get the cistern, but I can only imagine like, if I just live off of Social Security or something like that. So fortunately, and I feel like the people who come back to the island, there are actually a lot of Puerto Ricans who go and they leave the island, they make their life and their career allá afuera, in the United States, and then they come back with their money and their pensions and all that. And so they get to actually experience a nice quality of life here. So I think quality of life here can be different if you have the income, to sustain it. Otherwise, yes, island life can get a little frustrating because you need a lot of time and energy to get things done here. So
Exactly.
Definitely understand that. And I also want to switch gears to, I want to talk about your journey into real estate investing. And I bring that up because there are people that watch this channel who they are looking for like a location independent lifestyle. That's something that I've launched into myself. My ultimate goal is to be a digital nomad. I don't know for how long, I don't know if it'll be permanent, but just experience that. And one of the ways that I finance that is investing in real estate. And I've heard of thousands of other stories just like this where people use real estate to build up passive income and income sources that are outside of the places where they're going to live or travel to. So, again, even though you don't have super solid plans in the future to do that, I think you're still setting up your life where that could be a real possibility for you. So, tell me, how did you start investing in real estate?
Yes, so I started investing in real estate after I needed a void to fill because they say you leave one vice or habit, then you get another one. So my vice or habit was gambling. I was a big time gambler. No, seriously,
Okay.
seriously. Lost a lot of money betting on sports and stuff, and it just got to the point to where I just got fed up. I lost, maybe $4,000 to $6,000. And I'm like, yeah, this it. And I kind of dove into like some channels on YouTube and where to put your money at and stuff like that. And I kind of understand the person I am. I'm a person that I don't need to have access to my money. So in real estate, it was like perfect for me as far as buying hold because I get the down payment, I get the closing costs, I get all that, and now it's in the building, it's in the property. I can only take it out if I want to sell, take out a HELOC, a second mortgage, which then requires me to have a credit score, even sometimes even putting money to take the money out. So I know once the money in the building, I can just leave it alone and hold it for long term. So that's what kind of turned me on to real estate.
So, like,
Um,
it's basically like forced discipline for you.
yep, yep,
Okay, I can relate to that. I
absolutely.
think a lot of real estate owners definitely relate to that.
Because like with stocks, psychologically, it messes with me. If I got 200 stocks, 200 Amazon stocks, and Amazon stock is plummeting, and I got access to take it out or liquidate it, so I
Yeah,
can kind of,
sell
I
it.
guess, cover my loss. Then it's like I could just do that Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 or whatever the time is. Real estate, you just can't sell. It's more difficult. It's more a little harder to just
It's
do
more
so.
illiquid. It's more of an illiquid asset class. So you have to jump through a lot of hoops to liquidate
Absolutely,
your holdings in real estate. So,
absolutely.
so what does your portfolio look like now, if you don't mind sharing?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, at the moment, I just got two duplexes. I'm definitely trying to
Hold on a second. Hold on. Let me just two duplexes.
yeah, that's
Okay,
it.
like
That's it.
that's to me, that's
That's it.
living the dream. I lived on the south side of Chicago for so long, spending my days and nights looking for duplexes because I just like duplexes. I like graystones. I like those brick
Yeah, yeah.
duplexes, and just didn't work out after even just last summer went to Chicago looking for those. So to say just two duplexes,
Just
that is
duplex.
very impressive.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you.
impressive.
Thank
So
you.
you have two duplexes, so that would be four doors, right?
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And
And
then go
I'll go
ahead.
ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I want go ahead and expound on that.
No, so yeah, just I get what you're saying. You're saying like don't act like it's just an easy feat because it wasn't, So that's a good. I like how you kind of, cleared it up and gave me um that insight that it is just it's hard to do. It ain't just an
Yeah,
easy thing to
if
do.
you come around me, I'm gonna gas you up a little bit, just a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, so what I was gonna say is that obviously I do want more, and I might try to get one this year, if not for sure next year. So I want to keep growing. I kind of got the momentum going, kind of got the idea with even finding the deals, know what the numbers got to be, placing the tenants, learning the city and uh city code rules and regulations as a landlord. So I'm being more educated, and I like it so far. So far, so good. So I want to keep it going.
All right, and lastly, tell us a little bit more. I know you told us about the future of like it being in Spanish speaking countries, but also tell me like if you had to tell somebody about your life 20, 30 years from now, like what does that look like and what would you be telling your friend? Like, hey, you know what, this year I closed on my ex property. I got to visit so many countries. Like what would that look like for you 20,
So
30 years out, the
so
future?
You saying how would I tell somebody this or?
Yeah, or just like what do you hope to your life looks like in maybe 10, 20, or 30 years?
Oh, okay. 10, 20, 30 years. In 10 years, I just want to set myself up so I can have options. It's good to have options, right? And so I eventually want to have enough rentals to where I can replace my W-2 income, um, and maybe just take it easy at work or retire. I want to really, because I look at it and they said they give us this. They say you work till you 65. And I'm just looking like, when you kind of up in age like that, I'm getting older now, and I feel like 65. You want me to wait till I'm 65? I mean, the mornings and stuff hit different every 10 years, so it's just like I don't want to do it that traditional way. Yeah, so I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it the traditional way. So I just want to have options, possibly retire and just enjoying life and trying to educate the next generation under me about
All right.
how they can, be financially free and don't have to just, do a job 30, 40 years like we all been told.
I love that. And so, where can we find you on social? Like, if anybody wants to connect with you or just follow your journey, find you in 10 years to see if you were telling the truth about what you was going to do, where can we find you?
Yeah, so I like Instagram. It's just my name, Martese Jenkins. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the most active social media I'm involved with is Instagram.
All right, sounds good. Well, thank you so much. I'm so excited to share your story. And yeah, hopefully this will stay up long enough so you can come back in 10, 20 years and check and say, yep, I said I was going to do that and I did it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this gonna be hit.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Martise. Thanks for joining us today. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Have a good one.